You recommend everybody should get a flu shot?
Absolutely, absolutely, especially this year.
I believe vaccinations are incredible, and they've done amazing things, and I believe they're extremely important, and I hope you are all getting your kids vaccinated.
And I hope you are all getting your kids vaccinated.
Who specifically should really look at getting this vaccine?
All of us, Eva, all of us.
All of us, Eva, all of us.
Everyone over 6 months of age, including and especially pregnant women and people who are around babies who are younger than 6 months and can't get vaccinated yet.
A lot of the talk about, anti-vaxxer stuff is based in misinformation, and it's unfortunate.
I want medicine. I
Okay,
want
get a
modern
flu
medicine.
shot.
I'm going to get a flu shot,
Okay.
and I.
In my personal opinion, I don't want to get into the vax stuff. I think we should, kids should have to be vaccinated if they want to go to public schools.
What the hell did you just say?
Kids should have to be vaccinated if they want to go to public schools.
I see no problem with that because you don't have to. Homeschooling is an option and private schooling is an option. So if the public votes that you need to be vaccinated to go to school, I see no problem with that.
Unbelievable progress can be made, both inventing new vaccines and making sure they get out to all the children who need them.
Kids should have to be vaccinated if they want to go to public schools.
Okay, let's think about something for a second. Mainstream media wants you to take vaccines. The government wants you to take vaccines. Big Pharma, of course, wants you to take vaccines. Globalists want you to take vaccines. What do you think the odds are that there's an agenda afoot? Guys, if you enjoyed my videos, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, and share it with everybody you know.
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me.
No doubt you've heard about the death of Bree Payton, the 26-year-old conservative reporter who recently went to bed with flu symptoms and never woke up.
It's going to be a little difficult heading into New Year's with losing a friend, Bree Payton.
She's a total rising star in this industry. She passed a few days ago from complications from the flu.
How she died will probably remain a mystery. We do know she was an anti-vaxxer. In one tweet, she stated, "At LA Times, whooping cough, state urges more people to get vaccinated." No! Vaccinations are from the devil. We also know that fake news outlets like ABC's Good Morning America were quick to use her death to issue a health alert about the flu.
So our GMA cover story this morning, a health alert about the flu after that shocking death of 26-year-old Bree Payton, a political TV commentator and writer who passed away suddenly on Friday after reportedly contracting the flu and meningitis.
And of course, they used this health alert to push, you guessed it, the flu shot.
How effective is this year's vaccine for dealing with H1N1?
Right, so when we think about the flu, we're talking about several viruses. One of them is H1N1. In seasons where H1N1 is the predominant virus, which is what we're seeing this season, the flu vaccine tends to be really effective.
Here's what they want you to remember.
What I really want people to remember at home is that even if you're part of those people who gets the flu shot and then goes on to develop the flu, having gotten the shot will still protect you from the severe complications.
So if you contract the flu after you get their flu shot, which was supposed to prevent the flu you could have gotten had you not gotten their flu shot could have been worse. But of course, you'll never know that because you got the shot and you may not have gotten the flu. So ridiculous. So the question is, who exactly does Big Pharma and their monetary partner corporate media want to get the flu shot?
Now we're heading into the height of the flu season. Who specifically should really look at getting this vaccine?
All of us, Eva, all of us.
All of us, Eva, all of us.
Everyone over 6 months of age, including and especially pregnant women and people who are around babies who are younger than 6 months and can't get vaccinated yet.
Every last one of us. Your government, their lapdog media mouthpiece, and Big Pharma want you to trust them, roll up your sleeves, and just take their shot. Matter of fact, they want you to take their shot even though in the past it came out that not only are their vaccines highly ineffective in stopping the influenza virus, they contain components that cause cancer.
Today, doctors at the Federal Communicable Disease Center acknowledge the flu vaccine and the recommended dosage is ineffective. While in a larger dose, it can be harmful. However, the flu vaccine is still recommended for old people and the chronically ill.
So they're ineffective and can be harmful in higher doses, but give it to the elderly and chronically ill anyway. But wait, there's more.
Month, a Senate subcommittee headed by Abraham Ribicoff charged that the federal government wasn't doing a good enough job of informing the public about ineffective vaccines.
Scientists at the Division of Biologic Standards test vaccines for their potency and safety before licensing them for public use. However, the division does not determine the effectiveness of the vaccine. That is left to the manufacturers. A case in point is the influenza vaccine. 4 scientists in charge of work on the flu vaccine during the 1960s found it to be ineffective, said they refused to give it to their own families. 2 were transferred to other work, a 3rd left the division. And over the entire 10-year period, not one word of their unfavorable findings was allowed to be published.
Scientists who worked on the actual vaccine wouldn't give it to their families, they lost their positions, and their findings were suppressed for an entire decade, while doctors kept giving people these shots. But trust the government, right? But wait, there's even more.
But a more serious case involving the relationship between the leaders of the division and their scientists involves the adenovirus vaccine, a vaccine given to thousands of American soldiers to prevent certain cold-like symptoms. When it was shown that the vaccine contained a contaminant which caused cancer in laboratory animals, it was taken off the market.
So they admitted that these vaccines contained an agent that caused cancer, and they took it off the market. But how long did it take for them to remove it from the market?
That was 3 years after the division's own scientists had pointed out the danger. Dr. Murray justifies the use of the vaccine by saying it took 3 years to examine the evidence against it.
It was more important to use the vaccines than to take them off the market and remove the agent.
Guys, these are true psychopaths. It was more important to inject people with cancer than take the vaccines off the market.
It's more important to use the vaccines than to take them off the market and remove the agent. But since the agent couldn't be removed, there was no other course.
So even though they knew these vaccines were causing cancer in animals, they kept injecting people with them for 3 years. Only after they found they couldn't remove the agent, they took the vaccine off the market.
For 3 years, American troops were injected with a cold-preventing vaccine which was causing cancer in laboratory animals.
Year after year, Big Pharma has quoted observational studies to announce 80% vaccine effectiveness, 60% effectiveness, 40% effectiveness. But they don't mention that these studies make no effort to look for adverse vaccine effects like narcolepsy, seizures, high fever, oculorespiratory syndrome, and other side effects like death. They don't mention negative vaccine effectiveness, the increase in risk of illness from influenza and non-influenza viruses associated with or caused by the vaccines. They don't mention the fact that a vaccine effective in one season may increase influenza risk in a subsequent season. Just Google antibody-dependent enhancement. They don't mention that the observational studies they refer to are likely to exaggerate vaccine effectiveness in the first place because of the healthy user effect. They just keep peddling their drugs, and mainstream media talking heads, government puppets, and Hollywood perverts keep trying to pound it into your head that you must take the government's proven biohazard shot. Check out this heavy dose of propaganda. No pun intended.
There's a small but still sizable group of people who are choosing not to vaccinate their children. Here in LA, there are schools in which 20% of the students aren't vaccinated because parents here are more scared of gluten than they are of smallpox. And as a result...
So they deflect and downplay the seriousness of this government poison by using humor.
We now have measles again. We've got measles. I want to say something about that. I know if you're one of these anti-vaccine people, you probably aren't going to take medical advice from talk show hosts, and I don't expect you to. I wouldn't either. But I would expect you to take medical advice from almost every doctor in the world.
Yeah, like remember when almost every doctor in the world didn't have a problem with people smoking and people actually believed them?
Ones affected, they're your kids, but they're not, because unvaccinated kids put all children in danger, especially babies who are too young to get the vaccination shot. But of course, that's according to doctors, so, you know, take that with a grain of salt.
This makes me think of those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. The appeal to professionals and the mocking of the idea that people don't trust doctors is a powerfully effective propaganda technique. Never mind the fact that medical malpractice is one of the leading causes of death in the United States.
These are actual medical professionals, Every one of them is a real doctor, so hear them out and then decide for yourself.
I am a doctor.
I'm a doctor.
I'm a doctor.
I'm a doctor.
And I believe in vaccinations.
Okay, you can already tell we're going to turn up the psycho propaganda to about an 11 here.
And I believe in vaccinations.
If you don't vaccinate your kids, it can endanger their lives.
The potential downsides of vaccinations are almost non-existent.
The cumulative scientific and medical communities are in absolute full agreement that there is basically no reason not to vaccinate your kids.
You'll see that this is intended to mock anti-vaxxers and be funny. But this is a blatant lie that, if believed, will end up ruining a lot of lives.
No reason.
Which is why I cannot believe we have to make this PSA.
I thought we settled this in the 50s.
Hey, remember that time you got polio? No, you don't, because your parents got you vaccinated.
I did 4 years of undergrad, 4 years of medical school,
and 3 years of pediatric residency.
I had to go to school for 8 years.
I'm pretty sure I know what I'm talking about.
But you people still won't listen.
Now I have to use my only day off to talk to you idiots about vaccines?
I want to finish watching Breaking Bad.
I'm only halfway through the second season.
But instead, I've got to come here
because you listened to some moron who read a forwarded email.
Perfect.
All these people had to set up cameras, lights, sound equipment so that I could tell you to do something we've been doing for a century. Look at all these people.
This is stupid.
Get your kids vaccinated.
Get your kids vaccinated.
Get your kids vaccinated.
Get your kids vaccinated or lose my number.
Get your kids vaccinated.
Have you gotten your flu shot, anybody? Yeah? You can literally get them anywhere now. You can get a flu shot at the mall. I think that's the same lady from Claire's with the ear piercing gun.
Guys, humor drops defenses and sets the listener up to drop his guard.
We should give flu shots here in the riffraff room. Yeah. I never got a flu shot growing up. I was raised Christian Science, and if you don't know what that means, we didn't believe in medicine, we didn't go to doctors. We couldn't even wear Dr. Scholl's. I couldn't even have that. Yeah. That's long. Stop! Okay, wait.
Hey, look, it's Barry the sound guy. Nobody liked him anyway. They were going to terminate him anyway, but they decided to begin the process of taking him out on national TV with a biohazard injection. Seriously though, they wrapped the flu shot in a fun-filled, humorous segment to put into the minds of the unthinking masses that, hey, this ain't so bad. Ellen says it's fine, and I trust Ellen, so let's get vaccinated. Stay tuned to the end of the video, because I'm going to show you things that Ellen and her big pharma advertisers don't want you to see.
Hey, it's flu season once again. And here to give us our annual flu shot is the best pediatrician on earth, Dr. Greg Hippoliter. Nervous, he's not big on flu shots. He's heard about all the myths. There's so many myths, you know.
Right. Well, the big myth, of course, is that the flu vaccine will give you the flu.
Everybody says it.
That is not true.
Are you
Definitely
sure?
not true.
Because I thought I felt something after I got it one time.
It's gonna be fine.
Okay. Everybody should get the flu shot. Anyone 6 months and above should get the flu shot.
Everybody should get the flu shot. Why? Because we don't give a damn about people. But we do care about the yacht sizes of our stockholders. This is sinister insanity.
Dr. Greg, is that they're working on a vaccine that could protect you from the flu for 5 to 10 years.
That is absolutely true. They're working on the holy grail of flu vaccines. That's absolutely true. We're not quite there yet. But really, Ryan, think about it. When you get the vaccine, 1 or 2 days of a little soreness, okay, little achiness. If you don't get the flu shot, 10 days, high fever, coughing, body aches, severe headache,
I'm sold.
out of work for 2 weeks. Very good. And then breathe out and relax, and there's our vaccine, and that is already done and finished.
Yeah.
Rub a little bit like that. Excellent. What a great patient.
What a great
See how easy that is,
Try to
Ryan?
remember.
More for throwing up in, not urine.
By the way, you don't even feel it.
Now, the CIA will speak directly to us through Agent Cooper.
Flu shots. Now everybody's suddenly getting a flu shot. You get flu shots at Dwayne Reed. I mean, they have flu. Like you go to McDonald's, they're giving out flu shots. I want medicine. I want modern medicine. I'm going to get a flu shot, and I'm going.
Guys, think about it. Why wouldn't we listen to Anderson Cooper and Cyndi Lauper?
I'm going to get it right now. Am I going to get the flu from the shot?
No, of course not. Of course not.
Doc, you're not a doctor. Lady in the audience is like, yes. So you won't get the flu.
Well, if you have the flu in you, like you said, you probably will get a little sick.
Okay.
Because the vaccination decreases your immune system a little bit.
Let's say nothing else was wrong with this biohazard government concoction. Who the hell in their right mind would want their immune system decreased at all?
You recommend everybody should get a flu shot?
Absolutely, absolutely, especially this year.
There it is again. Everybody should get the government's flu shot.
This year, especially because it's a really bad one?
Yep.
There
you go.
Not the 70s anymore. This vaccine's a lot safer.
Look, I know the vaccine's safer, and I am informed, but I'm just lazy, okay? I'll get to it.
You should get it right now.
I said I'll get to it.
You know, a lot of people don't get the flu vaccine until their friends get sick, and then it's too late. Hit me, hit me. I don't even feel this. Oh, feels good.
We mix it up and try something new. So roll up your sleeves, Hollywood, because you're all getting flu shots.
Now guys, I don't know how real this is, but I watched this video several times and it looks to me like these people are actually walking around with exposed needles. Either way, it's another piece of out-of-place propaganda.
These nurses are all licensed professionals straight from the Rite Aid in Echo Park.
And look, if you're an anti-vaxxer, just put a napkin over your head and we'll skip you.
There's that quick jab at anti-vaxxers. Now for a dose of vaccine reality.
GBS blinded him, paralyzed him, and almost cost him his life. Now that he's back home with his family and out of the hospital, he has a message for anyone else wanting to get their flu shot.
Come here, Buckman.
Shane Morgan is happy to be home for the holidays, something he would have taken for granted just a month ago. On November 2nd, he and his wife got their flu shots. Then the very next day, Morgan felt like he came down with a bad cold. But things quickly got worse.
I'm having trouble focusing on stuff. It's like my eyes just wouldn't pull images together. And I didn't think that much of it. I thought it was my inner ears messing with me from all the sickness that I'd had. And I got up to go use the bathroom, and I realized I couldn't walk. You know, and then my legs was like rubber, and my hands were totally numb.
His wife Monique rushed him to the ER. Morgan had to be put into a coma, spending 23 days at Centennial Hospital.
Guys, this is pitiful.
It's like somebody just cuts your back open and cuts the nerves and just lets them flap in the wind. It's just unbelievably excruciating.
Doctors confirmed Morgan had Guillain-Barré syndrome. The CDC has linked the neurological disease to the flu shots, but says it varies based on the strain.
It's just dumb luck. I just have an immune system that does not like whatever is in that vaccine.
Now Morgan is recovering. He says he's about 50% better and he's gaining feeling in his face, can eat and talk again.
We're thankful worse than what I had.
He's home for Christmas. This could have been insane.
But the family says this will be the last year they get their flu shot, adding it's just not worth the risk.
Everybody just says that it's a coincidence and all this. This wasn't a coincidence.
Yeah, it's not a coincidence.
100% reality side effect from the flu shot.
I'd rather have the flu way 10 to 1.
A recent high school graduate is dead, and his mother is blaming the flu shot.
Yeah, even his doctors can't agree on exactly what killed him. Gene Kennedy has this heartbreaking story.
You can't describe how hard it is to lose a child.
Lori Webb has to do what no mother should.
I hate that that I have to bury my son.
A month ago, 19-year-old Chandler Webb was his typical happy and healthy self. Gearing up for an LDS mission, he went to a Sandy pediatrician for a physical.
This was his first flu shot. He'd never had one before.
And less than 24 hours later, he became violently ill.
He said he's never shook so hard in his whole life. He had the worst headache, throw up,
On October 23rd, he ended up at IMC in Murray with a team of 6 doctors trying to understand why the 19-year-old was so sick.
They checked every virus, every bacteria, every fungus.
The test came back negative. Lori says doctors dismissed the flu vaccine. Only one said it was a possibility. By that point, Chandler's brain swelled. He slipped into a coma he would never wake from.
He was 19. He was so happy. I hate what he went through in the hospital. When you're in a coma, you still suffer.
It certainly is a tragedy.
Dr. Alan Nakashima is the state epidemiologist and is aware of Chandler's case. Health officials say as far as they know, there's never been a death in Utah due to the flu vaccine. But Dr. Nakashima says it is possible.
We certainly have seen associations of encephalitis or encephalitis-type illnesses following flu vaccine. It's very rare, and so we can't necessarily say there's a cause and effect here. We can say there's an association.
If the vaccine took Chandler's life, Dr. Nakashima says it's one of those extremely rare cases, and she hopes it doesn't discourage the public from getting flu shot.
Yeah, people are getting really sick and even dying after injections of this biofilth, but we hope this doesn't discourage you from taking our deadly chemicals into your body. Now check this out, guys. Here's authoritarianism gone wild.
Should we be thinking about mandating the flu vaccine?
I'm a believer in it. I think there's no downside.
There's no downside of having government agents with guns force you to take a government shot that's been known to maim and kill people?
I do believe is that flu vaccines, even in a bad year like this year, whether it's 10, 20, 30% effective in the US, we'll see, but it helps you. If you had the flu vaccine and you get a strain not in the vaccine, the severity of the flu you get won't be as great. So all of us should have it. And to protect everybody else, we should mandate it.
All of us should have it. And to protect everyone else, we should mandate it. We should make a law that forces you to take the government shot. And if you refuse to obey, you're a criminal. That's insanity.
Because that woman around the corner who's elderly or that child, we have to protect them also.
Let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%. Let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
Over the next 10 years, to make it the year of the vaccines, what does that mean exactly?
Well, over this decade, we believe unbelievable progress can be made, both inventing new vaccines and making sure they get out to all the children who need them. We could cut the number of children who die every year from about 9 million to half of that if we have success on it. And the benefits there in terms of reducing sickness, reducing the population growth, if we have success on it. And the benefits there in terms of reducing sickness, reducing the population growth. And so, the people who go and engage in those anti-vaccine efforts, they kill children. It's a very sad thing because these vaccines are important. And so, the people who go and engage in those anti-vaccine efforts, they kill children. It's a very sad thing because these vaccines are important.
Guys, I'm going to leave this here. Leave your thoughts for the world, the Google Thought Police, and Big Pharma biohazard pushers in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video.
It was more important to use the vaccines than to take them off the market and remove the agent.